What is going on, guys? Sinister here, back with another Smite video, and we are kind of starting a new series, but continuing a new series. I previously did a building guide I was going to start. I went through like, I think 4 or 5 junglers, and I just stopped making them, but that was Season 3. This is Season 4, a lot of things changed, so I'm going to restart. I'm going to start over completely without Kuang, and I'll explain the rules. I'm going to start with assassins, quote-unquote, even though Ao Kuang is a mage. I'm going to go by your play-by-play rules on what they usually do, so I'm going to cover assassins first and the jungle role, and then we'll go on from there. And I'm going to group them into where they are. So like I said, even though Ao Kuang is a mage, you're not seeing Ao Kuang mid for obvious reasons. He's basically an assassin, although he's considered a mage because he does magical damage. We're going to start with Ao Kuang in the jungle, first build guide. I want to get right into it right now. Season 4. Really, nothing has changed from Season 3 in Ao Kuang in terms of what you build. They didn't change him. Ao Kuang has been relatively untouched. He's a god that probably won't ever be, I don't want to say ever, but it'll be a long time before he's, like, touched at all, but for sure drastically. Like, there's nothing really to do to him because Ao Kuang is more of a skillful god, and he sucks so much early game that, like, you can't change him because it takes the good players to really make full use of Ao Kuang, aka adapting. Adapting on Ao Kuang is the most terrifying thing in Smite, right next to Yaman on Janus, or energy on any god that they want, really. But we're going to start off with Ao Kuang. Now, in Season 4 in the jungle, in any role, but specifically jungle, it's popular to get double starter items. For example, a Relics, you could get Bumbas, and Bluestone because Feather Step hits so hard. With Ao Kuang, I wouldn't recommend going double starter item because his early game is so bad and you want to get finished items online as quick as possible. However, you could go, you're always going to go Bumba's Mask in the jungle, always. That's just always. You could go Sands of Time if you really wanted, but like there'd be no need for it. You get the mana, which is good on Ao Kuang because his mana's bad early. Soulstone, but like I said, you can get these and maybe stay in the lane a little bit earlier, but you want to get items online fast with Ao Kuang. I would recommend just going one starter item. And you can start with tier 1 boots and like 3 pots each, or 2. I don't know how much gold you're gonna have. I think you can usually get about 2 to 3. So that's gonna be your start. Bumbas, tier 1 boots, pots. No different. Beads, more than likely, is what you're gonna want to get. You don't have to. A lot of things have changed here since Season 4. If you don't know, I'll kind of go over these briefly, and I'm never gonna touch on it again. So this is your last chance. Curse is now split into 2. It's Cursed Ankh and Horrific Emblem. This does the movement speed, this does the slow. Other than that, the relics are relatively the same with different names. I think Thorns was back too. And Bracer of Undoing kind of is like a reset. Subtracts 3 seconds from all abilities on cooldown and restores 50% health and mana loss in the last 3 seconds. Rarely going to see this relic, and you're probably never going to see it on the jungle. Someone who does really well with this is Chang'e. You have Chang'e with this and like Shield of Regrowth. It's disgusting. I'm getting so off topic. We got the start here. First thing you're going to want to do, after your backs, you're going to want to finish boots. That's the first thing, and get 10 boots, for sure.
Dragon must be feared.
Next item, it's up to you. I would strongly recommend, I still think it's a good item to get, and that is Dynasty Plate Helm. Because it gives you, it's cheap, 1700. Remember when I said get items online with Ao Kuang fast? This is after your second back, maybe even your first back if you got ahead somehow. You can go ahead and finish this. It gives you 45 power, which is really good for 1700. It gives you 30 physical protection, which again is really good since you're more than likely going to be fighting junglers early. You don't want to die, and 9 times out of 10 they're going to be a physical god, unless they're doing an Ao Kuang mirror or a Bracken or a mirror or something crazy like that. And it also gives you penetration, which is good. So flat power, flat protection, flat pen for 1700 gold. No passive, that's the downside, but 1700 gold. Still think it's a great item to get.
Must be feared.
I know it's a Season 3 item. You don't see it a lot, but I still think it's really good on Ao Kuang for his bad early game. After this, what you're going to want to go into, is kind of depends on how the game's going. You could go pricey early, you could take it slow early, but I think the smartest thing to do, which is what I usually do, and I usually do pretty good on Ao Kuang, is after this, you're going to want to head into Polynomicon. Polynomicon is a very popular item in Ao Kuang. I call it the Ao Kuang item, honestly, because it goes so well with him, but it goes well with Bracken too. It goes well with Janus, Kukan, a lot of people. It goes well with pretty much everybody, but really well on Ao Kuang. Gives you 75 power, 300 mana, which is really good for Kuang, like I said. Some lifesteal, probably the least important thing, but the passive. Using an ability gives your next basic attack within 8 seconds 75% of your magical power as an additional magical damage. Can only apply once after every 3 seconds. It's the burst element of Kuang. Kuang is meant, he plays like an assassin. You're meant to blink in or go invisible, get the kill. If you can ult and get away. If you can't, get the kill and get out somehow. This element with the passive gives you that burst that goes with this kit. Plus, it gives you power and pen and some lifesteal. Can't go wrong with it.
For a deadly world.
After the Polynomicon, you're going to want to get some more pen, and the best thing to get is the Old Faithful Obsidian Shard. You can get Fatalis if you want, but that's only going to give you 10 extra pen. If they have anti-heal, you can definitely go Divine Ruin if you want. If they have a lot of magical damage, I wouldn't recommend going Void Stone, because that's not really a pen, that's an aura. Don't go Void Stone. Spear of the Magnus is more tick. Spear of Deso is too expensive for what you're going for, so Obsidian Shard is the best thing to go. If you're building attack speed Kuang, like I said, you can go Fatalis, Demonic Grip, but this is your standard burst Kuang. So you're going to go Obsidian Shard next. It gives you 60 flat power and 33% pen. The percentage pen is key. You already have flat pen on Dynasty Planehelm, so it's time to get some percentage pen up. After Obsidian Shard, we're going to go with another burst item that goes with Kuang, and that is going, oh my goodness, I forgot Soul Reaver. I forgot what it was called for a second. Soul Reaver. It is the first expensive item you're getting with Kuang, and it's $29.50, but it's worth it. It gives you 100 magical power, 300 more mana, but the passive. When you do damage to a god, it takes 10% of their maximum health. Alright? Maximum health. Not current health, maximum health. In addition to true damage. Oh, it's in additional true damage. So it's 10% of their health true damage. Just 10% like that. If multiple gods are hit, the damage is applied to the one with the greatest max health. Can only apply once every 40 seconds. Goes with the burst element. Soul Reaver and Polynomicon go great hand in hand because you're doing 75% of damage, 75% of your magical power as extra damage, as well as 10% of their health, just from using an ability. And then a basic attack after.
A deadly tool. Phenomenal. For a deadly
Once you get to this phase, or earlier on if you need to, you're going to sell Bumba's Mask, obviously. You can sell it whenever you want. It's good to keep it as long as you can, and sell it when you have to. If you're a couple hundred gold off from finishing Obsidian Shard, you can go ahead and sell Bumba's and finish it. Other than that, try to keep it. I mean, it doesn't hurt to keep it, like I said, unless you can make the full use out of it. And the last item you're going to want to get is a very common item that you're going to get on every single mage like last item, and that is Rod of Tahiti, 3,300 gold, another expensive item, 125 power, 30 mana per 5, which is really important because I don't think we have any mana per 5 on this. And the passive, 25% extra power, magic power. I mean, that's phenomenal.
A deadly
That is the full Kuang build right there. Boots, Dynasty, Poly, Obsidian, Soul Reaver, Rod. Literally did not change from last season at all. Of course you can change it up. This isn't like you have to do this every time. There are certain situations you can clearly go with a Wing Blade if they have a lot of slows, because you can build Kuang attack speed as well. There's different ways to build him, but this is the most common and this is the most effective. Relics, we kind of touched on this. First, I would go ahead and get beads. You're always going to want to get beads. No sense of getting hog anymore. With the upgrades, the stun was the key thing that made it relevant last season, but you don't get that stun until you upgrade it, so it's too risky. I know Kuang has bad clear, but that's another reason you're not seeing him played a lot right now. After beads, you're probably want to get a blink, honestly. And I'll show you why in a second, but blink is really good on Kuang. Actually, I'm gonna switch these back. We'll just go ahead. And that's finished build. So we're going to go through priorities and abilities. The first thing you're going to want to upgrade on him is your 2, and that is your dragons. It's going to send out, and each time you basic attack, the dragons are going to come out and do additional damage, as you see here. And you can also cancel them. Oh, well, I messed up and then cancel in time. But you can also cancel them and throw them out, which is really handy as well. Like that. So you're going to want to upgrade that first. After that, it's up to you. If you're fighting often, if you think you're going to be fighting, go ahead and get your 1. That is going to be your water illusion. You'll be able to use this to get away, and it'll also do damage right there on impact whenever you cancel it or go out of invis. So grab your 2. I would grab your 1 just for escaping purposes because of his bat early, and then get your 3 third. And what your 3 is going to look like is just a cone.
A mighty
It's gonna do
sword!
damage. So 2, 1, 3, and after that your priorities are going to be get your 2 whenever you can. Your dragons are going to do the most damage, more than likely, most of the time. Your 3 after that, and then your 1, and ult whenever possible. So priorities are technically your ultimate, your 2, 3, and then your 1. What a fight is going to basically look like. The reason I said blink, you can use your water illusion to initiate if there's like 1 god, maybe 2. Initiate in, get your 2 ready, get your 3, and, you know, kind of do Kuang things. But the key thing when I said to get blink is because if you blink in and you can't get a kill, they Aegis, they beads, whatever, you're stuck there. But because you blinked in, you have your water illusion, you can easily get out. It's never good to initiate with water illusion unless you're chasing a kill, unless you can definitely secure it and get out safely. It's just really risky, so blink is your best bet. And your ultimate, I haven't showed you, but it's an execute, and it heals you, so it's good to upgrade whenever possible to get that most of the heal. We'll go ahead and show you what he's going to look like when you do the whole combo. I mean, literally that easy. I mean, of course, I'm full build out Kuang, and that's a raw bot, but still, you see what he can do, you know, with damage like that. I'm just gonna basic attack him and show you what his ult actually looks like. Get him in the threshold. That is what the threshold is gonna look like. It's gonna be a big X, and then you execute looks like that. The good thing about this is it heals you, and you can land pretty much anywhere on the map. It's a really far range, and you get out of safety just like that. And your water illusion is saved if for whatever reason you needed it. There you go. That's going to be your standard Kuang build, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this isn't you have to build this every single time. You're not going to want to build this every single time. If they have a lot of magical damage and they have an Kuang mirror in the jungle, or an Amir jungle, Kabrak, and Athena, anything, you're not going to get Dynasty Plate Home. That's pointless. If you want to build attack speed, again, you can build attack speed. Go Fatalis, Demonic, whatever. It really doesn't matter. But this is like what you're going to see most of the time. This is what works most of the time. Very, very common build. Kuang has one of the most standard, just kind of cookie cutter builds that you always go. Same with Loki. They can do what they want because they can just burst people so fast. Like I said, that is going to wrap it up, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. I am definitely going to actually stick with this time. This is probably what my channel is going to be most of. You'll see, obviously, the patch notes and stuff like that in some games, but I'm going to focus a lot on builds and strategy guides and stuff like that, and hopefully even get like a website or something, or create my own. I have a Smite Guru, sorry, that you can look at my builds on there. So I will post the playlist in the description as well. It should be in the annotations at the end of the video around this time anyway, but yeah, like I said, guys, social media links in the description. Be sure to check out more builds, my build guides. They'll be coming out probably 2 a day, to be honest, towards the end of the week, so be on the lookout for those, guys. And thank you for the support, and I'll see you again soon.